Okay.
Hey friends, welcome to a Reseller's Passion YouTube channel. I am live tonight with the brown girls. Look at all this melanin.
Don't get me started. I get hyped.
I invited these ladies because I'm impressed by what they're doing. Even it may not seem special to them, but it's special to me. We as a community are doing some wonderful things. We're mentoring, we're teaching, just growing, creating websites and all that. My girl Kaya hasn't come on yet, but hopefully she'll join us. We're going to wait for a few minutes to see if some people join the chat. Yeah. Hey, Nicole, what's going on, girl? What's going on in Massachusetts area there? Hello. Is it 7? Hello, friends. So, ladies, you can see the chat, but if you want to type in the chat, you need to use a device, but you can answer people in the chat. So on your device, you should be able to see it as people are coming on. Hey, Sandra. She's saying hi to Danielle.
Oh, hey.
So,
no biting.
Oh, no. Mama is talking. So we're on, and we're going to go around, and everyone's just going to introduce themselves and then talk about, there's Kaya all the way down the bottom. There she is. There's Kaya.
Hey.
I saw your red hair floating down there. There you go. Good. So now we're all here. We're all here. Look at us. Okay. Just hold that image. I love it, ladies. I love it. Okay. Seriously. So what we're going to do, Kaya, you came in just in time. We're going to introduce ourselves. So I'm going to go around in the order that I see you and just tell everybody who you are, where you live at, and because we're all resellers, what platform you sell on, and then we'll go around, and I have a ton of questions. You can speak whenever you want to speak. You can ask questions. This is all inclusive. This is family time. So we're going to be comfortable. I'm the same person. If you ever met me, Kaya know me. She's one of my PFFs. She is in Philly. Danielle and Kaya. And
I'm getting ready to steal you, though.
Yes. So Danielle moving too, right? So I want to move to North Carolina soon.
Oh,
okay. That's okay. I'll be closer to Chi. Okay. So I'm going to go around, and the first person that I see is Heather. So Heather, introduce yourself and let everyone know who you are and what you're doing.
Hi, my name is Heather, and I live outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I sell on eBay and Posh. And unlike most resellers that I know, eBay is kind of my jam, more so than Posh. So I'm always here to help if someone has eBay questions or they need to get started with eBay. I know that's kind of like something a lot of people don't like, but I love it. That's my jam.
Yeah. It's every platform is not for everyone, but if you find one you love, stick with it and talk about it, because you might convince somebody to come back. You never know. There are people who have not sold on eBay for years, so they still have this misconception, and things have changed, and maybe you can teach them something. So we'll come back to that. Hey, Margaret, tell everybody about yourself.
Hey, everyone. I am Margaret. Hello, September on Posh, and September and Spring on Instagram. I have a website, hello-september.com. I'm a reseller here in the Midwest. I recently just started my website, and it's really an exciting little journey that I'm going through. But I'm excited. I don't know what to say. I'm super hyped. I really tried to run around my apartment a couple of times to get some of this energy out, but I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be invited amongst all these beautiful brown girls. I'm just
telling you, it's
ready for all this.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Danielle, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm Coco Skin 86 on Poshmark, Instagram, eBay, Mercari, Citizen, and is that it? Tradesy.
Oh, she said that it.
So I am trying to delve into all platforms available. I'm mainly on Poshmark and Mercari for right now, but with all the babies' clothes, I'm trying to unload some of those too. So I'm kind of new to Citizen, but I'm excited to hopefully get rid of some of her clothes on there. So, but all things Poshmark for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, that's definitely how I connected with Danielle. Chi Chi, what's going on? Can you hear us? Look, I'm looking at Chi Chi. She got frozen.
Oh, I think she's frozen.
Yeah, she's frozen.
I think she's
I'm
frozen.
looking at Chi Chi. There she is. I'm looking at Chi Chi. And I'm thinking if my parents are on here, they're just like Leslie.
I can hear you, Danielle, but everybody else, like Leslie.
Yeah, she's gonna come back on.
Okay.
Kaya, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Kaya. I'm from Philly. Thrifty redhead here on Poshmark for the red hair. My platforms is Poshmark mainly. I do sell a little bit on Kidizen, but not that much since I kind of just donated like all my kids' clothes. Yeah, but I'm from Philly along with Danny and Leslie. We still count you as a Philly girl.
Yes. Hey, I represent Philly 100%. I just happen to live in
Delaware. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like because I'm always going to events. My family still lives in Philly, so Philly all the way. I'm gonna take a second and just look and see who's joining us. So we have Nicole, and it looks like 7 Angela Harris, Posh Lady 777. That's Sandra, Wendy Span. Hello, Kristi Blocker from Philly. A wee bit warm. That's Lara. Hello, Judith.
Hi, everybody.
Glow. That's Nikki. Okay. She's having some difficulties. Let me see. Stacy, XO Stacy. That's my daughter Stacy. She's Pete's Boutique. New England Betty Boop. That's Lizette. She is in the Massachusetts area. Kelly, Lori. Hey, Lori. What's going on, friends? And if you're watching, just say hello in the chat so we know who's here, especially if you came to represent the ladies that you know. Just say hello so they know that you're here. All the support is wonderful, and we appreciate everyone so much. Hello, Heather. Chi Chi.
Hey.
Tell everybody who you are and where you reside. What kind of device are you on?
Android, probably. Just kidding.
Hey, I'm Team Android.
I'm Team Android too now. Don't come to us.
Don't do it.
I'm not even touching it. Okay, Chi Chi, go ahead.
I actually have an iPhone, so I really don't know what's going on. I got 4G and we still having issues. So I don't know what's going on. I might have to switch to Team Android now with what's happening right now.
Well, we can hear you even though you're in slow mode. So just while we have
what's
you,
up,
tell everybody who you are.
Okay.
Frozen faces are golden though.
All right, you guys. I'm sorry that this is in slow mo. Let me try to go fast. All right, so my name is Chichi Worry, and I'm at Leslie Posh Fest.
Go ahead. She said she met me at Posh Fest,
and I met Leslie. I met Leslie at Posh Fest, and no.
See, that's what you get with those iPhones.
Don't talk about my baby. She try to come back on. Okay. So Heather is the only person that I have never talked to or seen in real life. This is the first time we've talked DM.
We were supposed to meet in real life, and Rona kept that from happening.
So let me tell you real quick. Before we were quarantined, my husband Thomas and I were moving to North Carolina. My mom's there, my stepfather, my sister, his brother. We have family, and we had already had a plan to move to North Carolina once our 2 girls graduated from high school. Okay, they're moving on regardless if they're having a ceremony or not. They're getting somewhere. So our goal was to just start going down and look for places that we might want to visit. And anytime I go somewhere now, I have a meet and greet. I just shout out, "Oh, are you here in Virginia? Are you wherever?" So wherever I travel to, I try to meet up with any resellers. Doesn't matter what platform, who wants to just have coffee or something with me. So I set something up for April 18th, but of course, we went into quarantine mode. So I wasn't able to do that, but we're going to get down there. So Thomas and I, we're probably going to move around November, maybe in the Raleigh area. We haven't decided. That's where my mom is. So we'll see what happens. We never know. So connections, I'm trying to build relationships because here in Delaware, I know no one and it is not fun here. Nothing against Delaware. So that's why I always go back to Philly. I'm always going to the Posh and Sips and the events there because there's a lot going on there. So Heather, tell everybody what you're doing in the reselling world and first tell everybody why you decided to resell.
Well, I originally decided to resell because about 6 years ago, my daughter was 6 at the time, and I was a single mom. I'm happily married now, but then I was single, and I needed to pay for dance lessons for my daughter. And I was working full time, and I just couldn't imagine taking a traditional part-time job where I had to get someone to keep her. I was away from her longer, and someone told me about eBay because all the time at work, that was back when I used to wear heels. I don't wear heels anymore. But ladies would always compliment me on my shoes and handbags. And they were like, well, why don't you just sell the stuff that you find at the thrift store? I didn't even know that was a thing. But I started on eBay and I was like, oh my God, I can actually make money doing something that I love. So that's why I started, and that's why I'm still here, because it just really gives me the opportunity to be there for my daughter rather than the crazy 9 to 5 that's really not 9 to 5, that's chained for life.
Yeah. And you know what the interesting thing is, as resellers, we go beyond 9 to 5. Isn't that something? Is that we're business owners now, but we're in our own homes because most of us we're full time. So we're in our own homes and we can make our own hours. But because we're business owners, we're putting in more time than we would give to someone else. But that's what we're supposed to do anyway. We're supposed to give the time to ourselves instead of a company. So what is your plan going forward with your business? Is eBay your priority? Is Poshmark your priority? What are you working on right now? And then where do you see your business going in the next year?
Wow. Right now I'm working on a blog. I haven't launched it yet, but I'm getting it started with the Thrift Goddess Life. And that blog will mainly be for newbies, people that want to get started. And it will also be for hobby sellers. I've had several people express interest. They don't really want Posh or eBay or anything to be a business. They just want to kind of be able to sell their own things because, you know, they can't get the money that they paid for them like at a traditional consignment shop. So I'm probably going to be doing some now online courses for them. Had planned on doing them in person, but with changes, trying to revamp my plan and see where I'm going to go with some changes that are taking place, because one of the big things that I had planned, I'm really working on how I'm going to revamp that with the changes that we've had recently, because I wanted to start doing large scale consignment sales, in-person sales, similar to some of the big kid sales that you see. Me and a partner were working on that, but we're going to have to like revamp that now with social distancing and all of that to see how we can make that happen in a different way. So we're all having to learn to adjust and adapt. That's the name of the game and what it's about. So I'm looking forward to that because change is just something that happens.
Yeah, change is you can't change. It's you don't know what's going to happen. But this is what I want to say about that. Everything happens for a reason, regardless if we feel if it's a good or bad thing. Now, then what we have to do is jump into action and figure out what we can do with the opportunities and the challenges that are thrown our way. Right. So as a community, there's a big community out there. If you need help or, if you need to shout out, because, I'm always available. If you need to shout out to someone, and that's why we're doing this. Now we've made new connections. People can give you ideas of things you can do, because like the children's consignment, man, it's a whole online market for that kind of stuff, or right now, if you can't do it, then that's what the platforms like Kidizen and different platforms are for. So like you could probably connect with Danielle. She started doing a little bit there and maybe giving you a couple ideas. Look, I'm all about connecting people. If anybody know me, I'm always shouting. I'm gonna go over to the comments in a minute, and I'll be shouting out who belong where and
how can we get over here in these comments? I'm trying to.
Right.
You see me looking down, it's because I'm on my phone. I'm trying to look at the comments on my phone.
I already commented, so she figured out how to do that. Chi sent me a message. Let me see what she's saying. She says, yes, my apologies, just trying to get better connection. Okay. So Margaret, it's like you and I just talked. I don't know, huh?
Yep.
So for those who don't know, I just interviewed Margaret on the podcast. It's been like 2-3 weeks. So let me tell you.
Yes.
Margaret and I were having some challenges, one connecting in the first place. Then we talked and we did this whole Zoom interview, but the interview did not convert, right? But because we were supposed to continue talking, she agreed to come back and we did the whole interview again.
Yes.
So that's like amazing that she gave me her time, and it was actually better the second time because we knew each other, but then also I knew what she had to contribute. So just like that's why I have everyone here, because I know what you have to contribute, not because you're Black women, but because I know you individually, and I know individually you can contribute something to the community. So Margaret, since we've talked, what's new with you?
Actually, nothing. Well, no, I changed that. I joined Kittison, and I was doing pretty well on there. That's a interesting platform. So I'm learning all the ins and outs of that app and that platform, and really trying to work it for my advantage. It's pretty fun on there. So that's the newest one that I have joined on. So other than that, I'm still maintaining my website.
Nice.
I actually am on multiple platforms. So Posh, of course, Kittison, eBay. Mercari. I consign, of course, with the Real. I don't know if everyone ever heard of Material World.
You told
that one.
Yeah.
I trade on Hot Trader.
Yeah, you told me about Hot Trader as well.
Now, what's Hot Trader?
Yeah, Hot Trader is a platform for luxury designer brands, and they're all based on tiers. So depending on your item, you can trade with like tiered items, or you can trade with points. And trades are $25. So you literally trade, if you see something you love and you have something comparable, you can trade for trade or trade points. It is wonderful. That Alexander Wang bag I got off there.
Yes. See, this is
Tory Burch bag I got from there. It's a wonderful trade app. So y'all should look into that.
Is it kind of like Tradeasy?
No. Tradeasy is like, well, that's one of those like listed and forget it things. But this app is specifically for trading. So a lot of people that you probably see on Poshmark be like, would you trade? No. Right. This is the platform for you to do that. It's protected. If you are, hopefully you're never scammed, but you're like compensated.
So do they authenticate for you, or is it just a trust type of?
It's a trust thing. So you can ask questions and all that. If you feel any type of, ill vibes, I wouldn't suggest it. But no, it's trust. And but the ladies that I have traded with were honest. There's a rating system, so you can always tell by the rates in the comments if a trader is legit. But I've had a really good experience there. Actually, the CEO reached out and really appreciated my feedback, because they allow you to have feedback on there as well. So they're up and coming. They're new. Her name is Nicole. She is Noelle. Sorry, Noelle. She is
You're listening.
Awesome. And it's a dope platform.
Yeah, but that's what it's all about. When she told me about it, I kind of looked at it a little bit, but then you know how I am with all the things that I'm trying to do. But that's another great thing. And then Material World, I don't even know what that is, and we'll come back. I wrote it down underneath your name. I have notes for everybody so that my 50-year-old mind can remember. Chi, what you doing over there? Talk to us. Start from the beginning. Tell us who you are, what you're doing. Chi-Chi's doing some great stuff too. Right now, she's just going to introduce herself. And then I'm going to come back to her because I had like a virtual meeting with her one day and she was teaching some stuff. And I'm like, so why you're not selling what you're talking about? Next thing you know, she sent me a message and she said, I'm selling what I'm talking about. So this is what it's about. Like, don't be giving your stuff away for free, girl. Come on now. So Chi, tell everybody who you are, where you're located, what you're selling. Now, don't talk about your new venture. Just talk about like what you're doing as who you are, where you're located, what you're doing as a reseller first.
Oh yeah, of course. So my name is Chi, and I'm on Poshmark, Mercari. Was on Tradecy, but literally just focusing on Poshmark and Mercari. Chi Sleekwear. And so actually just changed it. So before it was Chi _rose gold.
No, wait, you threw me off. You threw me off. I'm like, what is going on here? She did a serious, that was a name change, ladies, okay?
Yeah. I'm rebranding. Y'all, this is my third time.
When I met you were just rebranding.
Yes. This is my third and final. Okay. Third time's the charm.
Yes.
So I took my steps. Listen, I took all the steps and I'm still learning. So, everybody kind of has a goal of why they started. Some people, it's like, oh, they just wanted to save. Some people, it's like, they want to get into it. Some people, they just got excited. And for me, my whole goal was to always, end up selling my own brand, right? Like having my own product. But, I also didn't know where to start. It was just like the idea was there. But for me, I know when it comes to like building experience is the number one key. So I was like, well, this is a great time for me to utilize this and just learn a little bit more about like the fashion, the sales, what's going on, different platforms. And I didn't even know about Poshmark until like 2017. So I mean, and it's been out since, right? Like some people been on this since
2011.
I think Danielle's been on the longest. How long you been on Danielle?
No, 2016.
So you only started 2016. Okay. Just because she connected to Jasmine that I think she started like back.
Yeah, no, they're the veterans. I just came in.
I feel the same way. We did come in when it was still a lot of different things going on though, you know. So we still consider, we weren't in the beta, but we were, 4 photos and a lot of craziness that was going on.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was
I joined Poshmark in 2011, but then left and came back in 2015.
Yeah, that was the beta. You probably saw a whole lot of different things going on. So Kaya, what have you been up to lately? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, I'm still on Poshmark. That's like the heavy platform that I'm selling on, really focusing on lately. But I do have other ventures. I have a rental property and I'm working on like flipping houses.
Nice.
So that's just something that I'm trying to get into. We just moved to like Northeast Philly. Okay. So that we were previously in was like gold. Like it just fell into my lap. Like how can you not take advantage of this? So I took advantage of it and now I'm working on it to be my first rental property. So I'm excited about that. And I just want to have like multiple streams of income. Like I just want all the money. Like it's all of it.
Wait, I'm gonna stop I'm gonna stop you right there because I want to say there's nothing wrong with wanting to have all the money. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So society tells you you're not supposed to want to have all the money. Somebody's wrong about that. You're supposed to have the money. You're supposed to have the mindset of money, and you're supposed to diversify and create multi streams of income for yourself. Because look at what's happening right now, right? The world already is a different place in like less than 6 months. So just imagine if you didn't have other ways or other thoughts about creating other income, you would literally be stuck, right? Like if you just had a job and then all of a sudden they say you can't work here anymore. then what do you have? So there's nothing wrong with wanting the money, you know, because I want the money too. I take the money, pay for my daughter's school, making sure they're taken care of. Mama still want to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Making sure they're taken care of. I want my grandbaby to go. If my daughter said, look, I want her to go to the school, I want to be able to take the money and pay for my baby to go wherever she want to go, you know, and then all the other things is going to come along, right?
And not only that, but I feel like having multiple streams of income is also like a safety net, because when one falls short, you know, you have backup.
Yeah.
So
and we're all doing that. We're all doing that here. So like Danielle, not only do you sell, tell everybody else, what do you do? Like, what did you go to school for? And you just told me about a business venture, like you just took over your mom's business.
Yeah, so I went to school so I have a bachelor's in economics and I have a master's in accounting. So prior to me having the baby, I was in a corporate trust, but then I got laid off right after I was getting ready to go back. So I got laid off in November. But thankfully, you know, my Poshmark business was already in place. My reselling business was already in place. So that was just a perfect time for me to go full time. Like Kaya said, I want all the money, all of it. I want all my coins all the time. So I'm always thinking of ways to make more money so that way I never have to go back to corporate. You know, I did a lot of the building and acquiring, you know, a house and savings and retirement, you know, when I was in corporate. So, you know, I already have a little nest egg, but I mean, I want to be able to build on that so I can retire. But right now, my newest business venture is taking over my mom's tax business. So she's been in business for 30 years. And I've grown up doing taxes. So I'm excited to be taking over the practice for next year. So she has a full service tax firm. So we do freelance accounting, we do bookkeeping, we do business taxes. And that's kind of like my specialty. So small business accounting. But we also do corporate taxes. We help people set up their LLCs. We do business consulting, and also, hopefully, I hope to become an enrolled agent soon so I can help people with their IRS troubles. But I'm not there yet. I want to focus on just getting the tax business started and, you know, get into my flow with that. So I'm really excited to be taking over. I'm kind of nervous. But with everything that's going on, I'm hoping that we can take the business virtual. And that way we're able to get everything done virtually. I don't want to have to pay overhead, you know, an office space when I have an office in my house. So we've already kind of got our clients to be sending their stuff in with the COVID. So everybody's kind of already uploading their documents online. We do Zoom conferences if we need to, and we go over their stuff on the phone. We've been just sending their packages out in the mail to them. And I'm just really excited to be taking this leap of faith. But I mean, the business is already established. I just haven't run it on my own. So I'm really excited, kind of nervous, but I think that this will be really good for my business and my brand. So I'm really excited.
That's exciting. Congratulations.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, that's what's up.
Three queens.
You got to do all the reseller taxes, Danielle.
Three queens.
Say that again?
Go ahead.
You're about to get all these resellers. You're about to do all these taxes.
That's the good thing, because a lot of resellers don't know, you know, what they can and can't do for their taxes. That's always like a gray area. And a lot of, you know, tax preparers aren't small business owners.
Right.
So, you know, they don't know every single write-off that you can take. And that's one of the cool things about me, you know, is I do own a business. So, you know, obviously I'm going to make sure that I'm getting every penny that's due to me. Right. So that's one of the great things. We've done a Posh and Sip before where we had my mom come in and talk to people about, you know, all the new tax laws. So I'm hoping that's one thing that we can get into for next year, is just getting that on the map each year to go over the new tax laws, to keep resellers in the loop of, you know, what's coming up for the next year, how maybe the tax law has changed and how it may affect us. So I'm excited about that too.
Awesome. So Three Queens Resell. That's Stephanie. If you guys don't know Stephanie, I met Stephanie at Posh Fest. Yeah, Stephanie's a school teacher doing that virtual teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay,
nice.
Okay, then this one here. I'm married to this guy.
Thomas, we can all win. That's the great thing. We can all win.
This is our content. And the funny thing with talking about taxes, Danielle, we were talking about that. We might have to have you back on because we were just talking about this today, how he was saying he wanted, how about if I have a tax professional on? And I was like, there she is. So that's for another show. But yeah, Thomas and I have these conversations all the time because one thing we don't realize, or we probably do realize as a community, and I mean, people of color, sometimes we're not taught how to handle money. I had to teach my children that. I wasn't taught that. So that's why we go into debt. That's why we make poor decisions. That's why we just want to buy, like I see stores opening up. Chi probably know because she in the area where the stores is open up. Are you in Georgia now or are you somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta right now.
Opening up, people in line for Jordans. Like, come on now. Like, what that Jordan gonna take you, what you do with that? You can't pay your rent.
Malls are opening.
But you can. Those Jordans can pay your rent.
Indeed, they can. But that's
it just depends on what marketplace you're into. If you're into StockX and you're a sneaker reseller, it is a very lucrative business.
That is true. But like I do know because I grew up in the hood, right?
Yeah.
So somebody's gonna take their check and buy all the stuff first. Let's come on now.
I know.
So let me go to the chat real quick. So Quimby's here. Daniela, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, I wish this was my hair.
It looked like it. It looked like a ponytail. I was like,
oh wow.
So this is what Lara says. She says, Danielle, put the pillow behind your head.
No, it's not my hair. It's not my hair. It's just a gigantic fluffy pillow.
Down your back like that. That was that is hysterical. Yeah, so definitely I want to thank all the friends for coming. Hey, Judith. I attended Judith's Posh and Coffee in the beginning was just she and I talking for a very long time, and then another person popped on. So if you guys aren't attending the Posh and Coffees, I have so much fun with those on Saturdays. So we talk to everybody. Anybody have any questions for the ladies? Shout out, ask them. They can read them. I'll read them all. I'll highlight them. She had, New England Betty Boop. That's Lizette, and she said resell them. That's right. Hey, I think about everything around my house now. What can I resell? I don't know not to source anything, but it has helped. I was not really doing a lot on Mercari, right? Only because I have so much going on, and I'm pretty sure everybody can relate that even though you sell on multiple platforms, there's always going to be that one or two that you kind of stick to because it's a lot. It really is, unless you do use a cross-listing type of.
Yes, I was going to say, if I could just advocate for 1 second, as a full-time reseller, List Perfectly has been my go-to, like for cross-posting and cross-listing. I think that it is much harder to manually cross-list on those platforms without it. Yeah. I think I got a special and it was about $30 a month. I don't know if that was a special rate or not, but it is so worth every penny. To just be able to post on Posh and then cross-list to Mercari and eBay and Tradesy, in the click of a button, it's so worth it.
Yeah. So and this is what I said last night. I'm 100% for whatever you want to do for your business.
Yeah.
I do tell people that if it's not in your budget, don't do it, right? Because
that's true.
Right now. Like now, if you already had List Perfectly and it's helping your business, stick with it. Don't get rid of it. But really look at your income. Look at what you have coming in. If you don't have any money coming in, do not pay for some stuff. People, I say that all the time because it's always.
But it also, you also have to think about the time that you're going to be. How long and how much time would you spend cross-posting manually?
Yeah.
As opposed to paying $30.
Yeah.
So obviously you definitely have to be making some kind of profit. You're not going to want to be in the negative by spending money. But I mean, you know, just as from a time perspective, you know, always weigh your cost and time.
Yeah. So I will say, I would definitely also find out if they're having a special. You know, it's Mother's Day weekend coming up, because Venue. I don't advocate for anyone. I talk about both because I know Liz perfectly, and I know Vendu. I interviewed those guys, so I know them a little bit more, but I don't advocate one business for the other. But they are having a sale right now. If you use the code SUPERMOM, if you're a mom, you get 50% off their service for a month. It's good until the 11th. So that just happened to come up on Instagram. So that came up today. And so Liz Perfectly might have something going on as well. So I would definitely reach out to them. They seem very responsive. And any business that can help you, and if it's worth it for you, go for it, definitely. And Danielle, I mean, she's got a baby running around. See, me, I don't have any babies. I don't have any children or anything. If I was doing this and I had the babies, I probably would. I used to be where Kaya is right now. How many you have, Kaya? 4? And I had 1 extra. So time I was Kaya's age, I had 5 babies. So it was like, okay.
That's exactly why I advocate for reseller assistant.
Tell me a little bit more about if whatever you want to share about your blog. How did you come up with the idea for your blog, and how did you come up with that name? What motivated you to create a blog for the resellers? Or I think is it just for resellers, or is it motivation? Is it for women? Tell us a little bit about it.
It'll be mainly for solopreneurs and resellers. A lot of people, especially when you are just a single person in a business of a one-woman band, you have some different challenges, and it's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to connect with people that are going to be best for your business, because you do have to watch your expenses. And because you're wearing all of the hats, sometimes it's hard to know the right way to go. And I would just like for people to learn from my experience and my mistakes. Because trust me, I've made a lot of them. I've had a brick and mortar business before that was in a retail mall. I've done vending events where I traveled and did shows. So I just want to share that experience with others so that they can stay motivated to keep going, and also hopefully to steer them clear of making some of the expensive mistakes that I've made in the past.
Yeah. I believe me, I remember that vending. I was a handmade seller, and every single weekend I was on the road. My son used to be my partner, and we would go every weekend and drive some almost 2 hours or whatever just to get so that I can resell and pack everything else back up and into the car. But Kristi had a really good question for Danielle. We're talking about Liz Perfectly.
Yes. So that would be an expense that you can claim on your taxes.
Nice. So that's going to motivate some more people to probably say, you know what, I can do this. What are you saying here, Stephanie? I have 47 days of sales. I'm sure that is because I cross list. Indeed it is. Because you know what happens? It happens in waves, right? Like this week, Poshmark could be on fire. And then the next week, you can feel like Macari's on fire. And then if you're selling on eBay, you're like, I was making these sales on eBay. I don't know about y'all, but I'm making sales on eBay. So that's how I feel like right now. Poshmark is kind of, yeah, it's okay. But Macari has been really successful in the last 3 weeks for me. And that's because I'm selling, hard goods like games and puzzles. I can't keep puzzles. And that was just stuff I had around the house. I haven't sourced anything for a few months. So say try it all. So Margaret, tell us about Hello September.
Hello September is a neutral, brand. I want to steer into neutrals and get into more vintage and higher end items. But it's definitely all about recycling, sustainable living, sustainable fashion. As me and Leslie chatted last time, I'm not super woke about sustainability and all that, but I do have a sense of care now. I do care where my garments are going after I'm done wearing them or using them. I try to either cut them up into dish rags, or I give them to my daughter. She can wear them now. And you know, I try to keep it going, but I really want that to become basically where all of my sales and all of my work is going through. Right now, you know, of course, doing multiple platforms does help kind of shift, you know, all that attention over there. But ultimately, that is my end goal. It's kind of like, you know, when you have assistants and then you're like, I don't need that assistance no more. I appreciate it. I'm gonna do this on my own. So that's why I started it. I said, why not? I don't have anything to lose. Let's try this out. And I did it. I told my fiance, babe, I got a .com. And now I have a website. And it's generating an audience and sales, and I love it. So, but it's just, that's ultimately the point. You know, I don't want to keep giving Poshmark and Citizen and eBay all my money. I want to reinvest it in myself so I can do more for myself.
Because Margaret, she did an experiment, right? You did an experiment to see like how much money you were using in fees and everything. Talk about that for a few minutes.
Yes. So I got to the point where I was like, okay, Poshmark is taking 20% of my sales. How much money am I giving them versus to how much money am I giving myself to start my own website? I literally, I calculated 2019. The first 6 months of 2019, I could have owned my own website for a year. That's how much money I gave Posh. And then going on another 6 months, it would have transitioned into almost 3 years of having my own website. So I said, you know what? Let me take that little money that I know I can make from Poshmark and reinvest it in myself and start my own website. So I had to make sure, for one, having my own website made sense. Was it cost effective? Because ultimately, being a reseller, you do want to make money. Like we all said, we're trying to get it all. And I don't want someone else to benefit from my hard work. Let me work hard for myself and then pay myself by rewarding myself with my own business, my own something.
Right.
So, you know, like we said, we're just, it's just like we're like renting space on these, you know, on these platforms. And ultimately, yeah, that's fine. That's cool for some people to say, hey, that's where I want to be. But ultimately, I want something that I can call my own, that I can be my own boss for. And then ultimately, I love for it to manifest into something big that I could pass down to my kids.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's why I really get into branding a lot. And I say it's nothing against, just when I was about to talk to Chichi, I said it's nothing against like changing your name to represent like the platform you sell on. Like I said to my husband, Pasha, dude, come on, you know, but that's what he wants to do. Because what happens is I'm a reseller's passion. So when you think about Leslie, you already know who I am, right? We already know who Margaret is. We already know who Heather is. You're unique and you have your own name. Again, nothing against calling yourself something with Posh, but that to me takes away from your individuality.
Exactly.
Right. And then also, if you're already setting yourself up, you're preparing yourself, just like everyone here is doing. You're preparing yourself to eventually break away and still have your name, because your brand is just your name. You're your brand. Leslie is who I am. I'm my brand. Everything that I do, all the pots that I have my hand in, it's just like when you say my name, my business, then wow, that's Leslie. That's
exactly.
There's Margaret, there's Chi-Chi. So that's what it's really about. So don't sell yourself short by giving yourself away or giving your name away. Sit down for a few minutes and think about what it is that you like and what's unique to you, and create your own name. Time to rebrand so you can set yourself up and you can have a website, change your Instagram, change your Facebook, start a YouTube, start a podcast. You're you, you're not them. Because again, I say that all the time. I say you're renting space. That's what you're renting space. So even when you get upset and all the things that's going on, the reason you're getting upset is because it's probably now time for you to move on.
Yeah.
You're growing away from that. You know, I love the platforms because the simplicity is built in. But the thing is, you're much stronger when you start setting yourself up now and you figure out, how can I market myself? You know, yeah, it's going to cost me a little bit of money for my website, but I can market myself. And so many people give up because now they have to do the work. Right. I rather do the work and know that I've gotten the rewards because I did the work. Yes. So Chi Chi, tell us about what you're doing. What's new with you? She's frozen. I honestly thought that she was with us and she was just.
Me too.
Oh, I wish we could.
Kaya, you just created a Facebook page. What's going on with your Facebook page? Yes. Is it connected to your Instagram?
It is connected to my Instagram because I don't want to make another Facebook page pertaining to Thrifty Red. It's just a lot of pages. Yep. So I just connected to it. But I did create, it's called Boutique Red. I started a drop shipping business. I've been doing it for like a couple months, just off of nothing. And I made pretty good money, like whereas though I can pay my rent like in advance. Wow. So I was like, why not just brand it? Why not just like branch out with it and see where it goes? So I'm just like creating a website now. So I'm trying to get all the money. So
what kind of items are you drop shipping? Are you creating?
I have like women's and men's accessories, but I have like a lot of mom stuff, like stuff that I use in my house for my kids, like pertaining to like home essential stuff for them, organizing stuff for them. A lot of like aromatherapy stuff because my kids stress me out, y'all. So I've been having to like woosah, and so just having stuff that I use that I know is good for other moms or can be good for other moms. Like I'm gonna promote it. So that's what I have up there right now. I'm looking to put in more things, but I have to like use it first. I'm not just going to try to sell somebody anything.
That's good. That's good. So what I'm going to do, so ladies, when we're done talking, everyone DM me whatever links you want me to put in. I'm behind from Melissa's yesterday. I have to put hers in. But after it takes like 8 hours or so for the video to pop up. And when it comes into YouTube, I'll put everybody's information so they can go, like they can find Danielle, they can find Kaya. We'll get Chi Chi in there. My friend Chi Chi.
So I have a question for you guys. Yeah. Does everyone have a business Instagram page? I don't personally. I don't have to. I mean, with my daughter, like I'm a single mom and I'm trying to run a business. I don't have time for a separate page. I know my page is a little crazy. I feel like maybe I should have a business page.
Her page is everything.
But I'm not changing it. Like this is literally who I am. And I just have not made the switch to a business page. But I'm just wondering, like, do you guys have a dedicated business page? And how often do you post or like check in with that? Like, I don't know.
Go ahead, ladies. You can answer because you already know the answer to mine. Mine is mine. I consider it to be an extension of my business. I have a content calendar, so I create content on purpose so that people can find me. It's all organic. I didn't follow for follow. It just grew organically, and people know me just based on what information, and it can be fun. I was on Heather's today, just kind of going through, trying to get a little information from everybody to see. So yeah, Danielle, you've got your crazy memes and stuff like that. But so I would just say it's simple. All you have to do is create one or maybe turn that into one because you already have followers.
But a lot of my followers, like literally a lot of my followers are people that I have met, like my friends. You know, I don't do follow for follow.
Right.
I do promote my business on my page. But it's not a purely business page. But I'm kind of debating whether I'm going to start a business page and just, post my reselling stuff there. But I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into growing, those pages and things like that. And I'm just trying to get a hold on motherhood first.
Hey, there's no hurry. You do.
And it is whooping me, y'all. It's whooping me.
Girl.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I can't. I mean, I'm only one person, so I'm trying to do everything at one time. But my page is my page. I'm here to entertain. You know, when people see my page, they know that it's me. You know, like that is an extension of me. They know I'm wild, crazy,
and that's actually
funny.
That's what I really like about the page being like. It'd be late at night, and I'd be listening, and I'd be looking at like the stories, and her memes be having me dead. Like I love her page. Like it gives me laughter, it gives me advice, it gives me inspiration, motivation. I like all of that in the page. That's why I can't have a separate business page. Like I feel like I'm authentic, so you're gonna see my kids running around.
Yeah, and I feel like that too. That's been like my debate.
You want to see everything.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let Margaret and Heather answer in a minute, but like mine has all of that stuff. Like I don't know how I would have approached it if my children were still younger, but like my youngest is 17. But my business page, it is specifically business, but I do incorporate a whole lot. I talk about myself. I'm very transparent, and I get into topics that people talk about every day, about getting a mammogram, going for your physical, and the dentist. And I talk about a whole lot of other things. And that is how people are drawn to me, just because I'm just authentic in the way that I'm doing things. And it isn't follow for follow. Like, I can't believe I just did a video on how I went from 0 to 15,000. I'm like shocked and amazed by the whole situation. So having a business page, I definitely think you can do it. If you only post once, and then you can have like all your links in there. So my business page is linked to a Facebook page. I have 5 business Instagram pages because I have 2 podcasts. So they each have an individual. So you just have to figure out what works for you. So what about you?
I mean, I definitely have all my business links in my personal. I actually thought that it would hinder me from certain, like certain, I guess, opportunities, but it hasn't.
I didn't know it was a personal. I honestly didn't know that it was a personal page. Like, it's your name. Like, you're using Coco Skin 86. So
yeah.
Who would have known it was just a personal page? You can actually just go in and change it if you wanted to do that. You don't have to do anything but go into the settings and switch it over to a business page. That's all you do. You don't do. It's just a button that you push. That's it. So, Heather, how are you using your Instagram page?
I actually have 2 business Instagrams. Because my actual business is Style Street. So I have a Style Street Instagram. It's under Shop Style Street. And that's what I am on Posh and eBay. And then with the Thrift Goddess Life, that is more or less for resellers. Because for the actual business itself, I just didn't want to have something that was showing me at the thrift store and all of that kind of stuff. So I have the two different ones. And with my personal one, I honestly don't use it. So I mainly use, because most of my personal friends and family are on Facebook. So I use Facebook more for personal, and then I use IG for business. But I have a business Facebook, and I also just started the Thrift Goddess Life on Facebook. So I'll be posting to it soon and getting it started. But I like keeping them separate personally. And I mean, you can still be who you are and be authentic. That's the thing. Because like for me, for a long time, I'm an introvert. I don't usually talk to people, or I'm pretty much socially awkward in some ways.
We all are.
And so I was really, afraid to, and I'm saying this for someone out there who maybe is like me. I was really afraid to put myself out there and connect with people. And I just decided one day, like, what the heck? And in December, I started the Thrift Goddess Life. And I mean, I can't believe that since December that I'm at like 1,200 followers. And it's amazing to me. And I want to say this and put this out here. Leslie is a big reason that I put myself out there like this. And I don't want to cry, but I'll get emotional. I would just see her in her videos every day, and how real she is and down to earth. And it just inspired me to say, hey, here's this lady who can be herself. You know, she's beautiful. She's amazing. She's so motivating and encouraging. And so if this sister can do it, I'm going to give it a chance. You know, I don't have to be fake. I don't have to, you know, glam up, because that's not who I am. I'm just a down to earth, plain t-shirt and jeans kind of girl. I love clothes and fashion, but I like selling them. And I don't want to wear them because I want all the money. So I would rather sell them.
This could be our motto.
So I mean, you know, Leslie just let me see that I could be myself. And so I just said, okay, I'm going to be myself and take it or leave it. And, you know, I've met some amazing people like Leslie, you know, because I was also that person who was afraid to like comment on people's posts or say anything. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to offend anybody or they think I'm crazy. But just putting myself out there. So if you are an introvert or, you know, you don't usually talk to people, please don't feel like people are going to be negative. You'll get so much love and so much motivation. And, you know, there are people out there like you, and it's cool.
Yeah, people don't think that's me, but it is. It just, I worked my way to this point. But to Heather, I contacted Heather and I said, listen, I'm going YouTube Live and I want you, because I had another person coming on and she had some challenges that she couldn't. And I started going in my head, like, who do I want to connect with and who do I want people to connect with? So I contacted Heather. And Heather, what did you tell me when I asked you to be on here?
I said, this is totally out of my comfort zone. Not something I would normally do, but because it's out of my comfort zone, I'm going to say yes.
There you go. See,
all right.
That's what it's all about. And one of the sayings that somebody else probably said it before me, but I say it all the time. The only way to step out of your comfort zone, you hear that? The only way to step out of your comfort zone is to take the first step. You can't go anywhere until you step into it. So there you go. So Margaret, how are you using your Instagram?
I have a personal Instagram that I'm rarely on, because I'm always on my September and spring. So that's my business one. That is a business Instagram account. So I love it. I use the sponsored post. Instagram just paid for me to have a sponsored post.
Nice.
Which was nice.
Awesome.
I thoroughly love it. It's not as functional as like a personal one. You like can't add like music and all that. That's what I don't like, because I would like to, but you can't do that type of thing on there. But for the most part, you use it for, you know, exactly what you want to use it for, and it gets the job done.
That's good stuff. So Danielle, this is of course my honey. Can you answer his question?
Based on my experience, I have found that women are more likely to be resellers. Why? Your thoughts? I mean, maybe because we are generally have more clothing to resell. I mean, maybe we're just more fashion forward. I mean, I'm just speaking from my experience. I sold for 3 years from my house. You know, I made $30,000 from my house. Like, that's how much stuff was sitting around my house. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Like, I mean, I'm ashamed.
Hey, don't forget, there's no shame in that $30,000 game.
I'm ashamed of
what do I got in my house?
All of Danielle's story got her on the speaking panel at Posh Party Live and at Posh Fest. So she can be ashamed in that game all she wants, but somebody heard something that she was saying. She has a lot.
You know what? I would say that came from what you said, you know, you leveraging your network. Yeah. I made it a point when I first went to Posh Fest, my first Posh Fest. I said, you know, I want to speak. You know, all of the people that I went with were speaking. Jasmine was speaking. Joy was a closet consultant. Everyone there was speaking at Posh Fest, and little old me was my first year, and I'm just like meeting everyone, and I was like, this is amazing. But I literally went out and I went on a limb and I talked to people at Poshmark. They invited me to headquarters, and I went for 24 hours. I went to San Francisco, and I went to the Posh Party there in December, and I got to visit headquarters. I had sushi with Manish and Leanne, and Amanda, and it was amazing. But you have to put yourself out there, you know? So, and I would also tell people, you don't have to be $1 million seller to do these kinds of things.
Right.
I had 15,000 followers. That's like nothing compared to like, you know, some of the other people. So you don't have to be a big seller. You don't have to have a big account to do these, have these different opportunities. I'm a regular person, a crazy person. Look at my memes. I post ridiculousness. I am extremely silly, but I still get these opportunities because I put myself out there. And I'm a genuine person, you know, but I'm also, you know, a mom, and I make mistakes, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, you have to put yourself out there and also, you know, will it into happening, you know,
manifest that thing. That's
right. I've been manifesting it since I started, and I was just like, I just really want to do these things, and good things have been happening.
That's good stuff. I believe that 100%. If you can go whatever way you want. You can do quotes, you can go biblical, whatever. It's all about writing it down, you know, write the vision and make it plain. Do however you want to say it. If you manifest it, it will come true. Like the other thing is, this is the thing though, it's the phrase. Not biblical or anything like that, but once you manifest it, right? It's be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. So
you got to be specific, though. You have to be specific in what you ask for.
But you have to be willing to walk into it, though. See, we all have a purpose. So y'all gonna have me preaching on here. We all have a purpose, and you have to be able to walk into it. Because you know, you with your girlfriends or whatever, and you talking about all the stuff you want to do. One, they probably looking at you like you're crazy. No matter if you have a support system, because your vision is going to be different than theirs, right? Because you've gone to school, you're an AKA, you're a Delta, whatever. They're going off and doing some other stuff. And then they go all of a sudden, wait a minute, what do you mean you got a degree and you home reselling some stuff, you know? So then you got to get around people who are doing what you're doing. You're not going to leave those people behind. That's a whole different chapter in your life. That's a whole different, you go out with the girls once a month. But now you have to get yourself around some people that will help you with your vision. Now, even the people that you get around are still going to have a different vision, because I get around people, I love the community, but then you only have the group of people who are they just want to resell. That's all they want to do. Leslie don't just want to resell. Like I'm going to be using Kaya's things. I'll probably put a post tomorrow. I want to make all the money.
Listen, I see someone in the comments. You know, I get it.
It's like, so the thing, and then also now that you have a platform, because that's what you have a platform, you're an influencer. All people think influencer is just a Kardashian. It is not. That's not what it is. Once you have a presence and you're making yourself known, and now you're teaching and you're reaching out to the community, you're an influencer. So just be careful, because it's going to happen to you. So what are you going to do when the opportunities come? Every opportunity that comes my way, I'm going to take it. You want me to speak where? You want to interview me where? Because it's not just about that, because I'm on podcasts that has nothing to do with reselling. Now that's taking me somewhere else, right? I'm consulting business, not just resellers, you know. So it gets a little slow, because when you start speaking another language, people are like, yeah, I don't know if I can hang with you anymore. But that's okay, because the people who are supposed to be with me are going to be with me, you know? So stable movement, ladies, do you recommend specializing in any specific product genre to help brand yourself? No. So I don't know what anybody else thinks.
I think that goes back to.
I'll say this. There's a lady in the chat that I love and had the opportunity to work with, Seven Harris. She's a coach, and I actually went through a process with her that was extremely helpful for me. It's called customer profiling. And with that, it really helped my sourcing to keep me from just being all over the place. I think that when you have a certain aesthetic and a certain look, it can help attract repeat customers. And if you want to truly brand yourself and be a business off of a platform, that's something that you need to do. But if you are happy with just reselling on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, wherever, I don't think selling a particular product is important. You can just sell whatever, as long as it's something that you know that will sell and be profitable. But if you do want to get off the platforms, yes, you need to to go through the journey to define who your customers are, what you want to sell, and how you're going to serve those customers.
Good stuff. Okay.
I thoroughly agree. I have a consistent aesthetic with my closet and my brand, and it has brought some repeat customers. Shout out to Jessica. She is my PFF. She always shops my closet, and I thoroughly appreciate her.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, I think it helps out when you're sourcing. It's so easy. I strictly go to the neutral section.
Okay. I
may dabble in other colors, and I know in my mind, Margaret, you may be passing up some good stuff. However, that's just not, I'm not going for the reds and the blues today. I'm sticking with my whites and cream. So yeah, I agree. Like sticking with an aesthetic, vibe, and that customer and that audience would appreciate that. So they'll keep coming.
Yeah, definitely. That's good stuff. So this is my question. So ladies, we were talking about everyone's growing in a specific way and different areas in their businesses and in their lives and different ways to diversify and create different streams of income. I'm going to start from the bottom up, and I see Kaya. Where do you see yourself at the end of 2020, 2021? Because you're flipping houses, you're drop shipping. Where do you see Kaya and your growth? So this is our opportunity to start speaking more of what we want. Just share whatever you want to share. Like you don't, because especially if it's things that you don't have in place yet. What is your goal, Kaya?
My goal by the end of this year is to have, I'm just going to start off with one, to have this first house flipped and rented out by the end of 2021. I'm speaking it to existence. I'm trying to have all my student loans and debts paid off. Just from the stream of my flipping income.
Nice. I like that. Yes. Get out of debt. Get out of debt. Danielle.
I hope to have my business website up and running for the tax office. And I hope to have my advertisements in place. And I hope to be able to be offering business coaching, business coaching, business planning. If anybody is interested in getting started, have that kind of stuff in place, and just be ready to hit the ground running for tax season for 2021.
Nice. Margaret.
I plan on having a lot more of my audience transition back over, or not back, go to my website. Where I really want my audience to start shopping from there. So hopefully by the end of the year, transitioning into next year, that will be my number one, go to. I am paying for that spot, so I need to, justify it.
Yeah.
So that is the absolute plan. And also I want to, I have a sub brand off of Hello September that I would love to start. It's all about recycling for loungewear. I really want to get this off and going. So I hope that that manifests, that grows into something that I really want. And 2021, it's gonna be prosperous. It's gonna be really, really good.
That's okay, because I'm writing down everybody's stuff because I'll be checking in on you. Okay, Miss. Yeah. Yeah, I have a block with everybody's name in it. So I wrote some questions and then I wrote down things you're talking about. So yeah, I'll be checking in on you now. Go ahead.
She's gonna be checking up on us now.
I can dig it.
Heather.
For me, I'm just looking forward to growth in 2020 and being consistent. I've had some challenges of not being consistent, and some kind of personal things that I'm not going to get into tonight that have slowed me down in the first part of 2020, but I am jumping over those hurdles and getting past that, and I am looking forward to totally 100% replacing my corporate income, and not just replacing it, but actually exceeding it so that I'm a six-figure earner. And I am going to have that accomplished by 2021.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about. I'll just show you.
By any means necessary.
Hey,
Yes.
I believe that for all of you right now, you know, I do. If I could lay my hands on you, I'd be like, I declare it. But no, seriously, I believe that for you, the reason that you're here is because I could see something in everyone. You're all like beautiful spirits. I think if we just continue to network and be, you know, a part of a community, don't be afraid to like reach out to people. That's the main thing. Find someone that you have something in common with. Like, you don't have to connect with every single person that you're meeting, because also you don't want to give everything away to everyone that you meet, right? We've learned that along the way. That's just life experience. We want to talk to the people that we know have our best interest at heart and don't want anything from us. You know, see me, I don't mind giving away because I'm getting in return. Like when Heather was talking, she almost had me like teared up because I just do what I do every day just because. I was just like Heather. I tell people, you have to go to the beginning of the story. So if you go back to this YouTube channel to video 1, you'll see, you know, I was a hot mess, you know, but I started though. And so don't come in the middle or even like close when my success is building. See me from the beginning, because I started at 0 just like everybody else. I haven't arrived. My destination is nowhere in sight. And I'm just going to keep working toward that. And that's what I see in each of you. I also, you each have like some type of coaching consultant type of element in you. And I would probably say, you know, maybe look a little bit more into that. Okay. And don't be afraid to charge, like Danielle was saying. Don't be afraid to charge what you're worth. Definitely you as well, Kaya. You have some things you've been reaching out to the community and highlighting and stuff. A lot of that takes time. So now maybe start taking some of that and maybe making, you know, figure out a way that you can do some things and make some money. There's a lot that I do, but I can't give away a space. So you sit down and you write an ebook. You know, you sit down and create some digital products. You make it once. Danielle, she's doing some tech stuff. She's not giving anything away from free. You know, figure out how to come up with something for the reselling community that they like. Sarah, like, well, one thing I want to tell you about Chi, she created an Excel sheet. So everyone knows who like Sarah Styles is, and she has a dashboard. But Chi came up with something like that too. She was doing a Posh and Coffee or some type of virtual event, and I went on and she was doing this stuff. And I said, well, why isn't that for sale? And then the next 2 days later, she had put everything together and put it for sale on Etsy. So don't be afraid to create something that you can make some money from. Daniela has a perfect opportunity. This reselling community is so big that if you put together a program, people are desperate because they don't think that they should be filing. They don't know anything about what they can claim or anything like that. And she has the perfect opportunity. If you have something that's different and unique, that's when you're supposed to be marketing it. You know, don't give it away for free. Don't give it away. Now, if somebody invite me to speak or whatever, yes, in the community. But then outside of the community, nah, this is what I'm worth.
Well, yeah. And I mean, of course. And, you know, I also believe in, you know, you do have to give back to get good things also. So, you know, doing the Posh and Sips, the tax edition, you know, is, you know, a contribution to the community that helped me to get here.
Exactly.
You know, but I mean, as far as, you know, asking specific questions, and you'd be surprised, we actually do have clients that have, well, they're now clients. So, you know, PFFs that we've met through Poshmark that are getting their taxes prepared by us now, you know, because they met us at the Posh and Sip and they're like, you know, wow, I really need help and I need your help. And they've had an amazing experience. So, I mean, definitely leverage your network and like Leslie said, you know, capitalize on what you can.
Because we have like the, you know, the reseller symposiums coming up, right?
That's so exciting.
Things are putting this thing together. It's free. It's open to like 500 resellers. And I'm going to be a moderator. What are you doing, Danielle?
I am talking about selling full time.
So she's talking about
transitioning from part-time to full-time reseller.
And I'm going to be a moderator for the creative side. We're teaching you creative ways to source. I'm just going to be the person asking questions and things like that.
Somebody send me a link because it's the first time I've heard about this.
So, okay, so it's going to be May 16th and 17th, and it's like all day events. And you can kind of come in and out, like, and it doesn't cost any money. So it's not.
So the tickets will be available on the. There'll be tickets first available, $250 available on Saturday morning. So you can get them in the Posh Kings, their bio.
Yeah, so in their bio, and it'll be like an Eventbrite. And so, so tune in on Monday, May 11th. We will be having the Posh Kings. Brad and John will be on here on Monday, and two of my favorite people, right? So anyway, so they'll be on Monday. They'll be talking about that, but they'll also be talking about some of the things that they're doing in the community. On the 28th of May, so on the 14th next week, it's going to be Danielle and Lori, Daniela Ivy and Blush Bottega, and Lori Boston Found. They have Thrifters Villa. If you're not listening to their podcast, check it out. The 21st, I have Quimby and Renee are coming on. And then on the 28th, it's going to be my Spanish Lady edition. So that's going to be awesome with Jasmine, Elsa, Rosalind, Carla, and Sandra. So check us out. And then on the 26th, I almost forgot, Thomas and I now, we have our own Tuesdays we're on, and it's Tucker Talks. We come on every Tuesday live, and we're just, last week was our first, this one was our first, this Tuesday, we just did a question and answer segment, but we're going to be talking about everything, marriage and business and all kinds of things, so it's fun. And then on the 26th of May, we're going to have Lizette and her husband Andrew come on as a couple, and we're going to be talking on Tucker Talks. So it's a lot coming on in my live, so check me out. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Yes. So ladies, I want to thank you for coming on. Everyone who joined us today, I want to thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up, comment, and then tomorrow it'll be up. But ladies, you're doing amazing things. I just want to tell you, if no one else,
thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of each and every one of you. Okay, you're making me, I'm about to cry. So I want to thank you for coming on. Don't go anywhere yet. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, friends, for joining us.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
I really want to say, if you